here when I landed is please this time round allow us to win this for you. You know, when you come over, we don't want you to go to the campaign trail. Allow us just to be able to get this done. And he was in he was in all smiles. He equally had requested me, which I'm also pursuing, the hospital that he was in, I think they call it Ayurvedic, you know.
Ayurvedic, yeah.
And he had requested for us to a possibility of doing something like that in Mombasa. I believe he talked to another governor as well on that. So we are actually pursuing that as well. So it was more of a shock. I had actually planned with some of my colleagues that immediately I come back from South Africa, spend some time with the old man, you know, a day or two. Yeah.
And then it happened.
We planned, God planned.
Yeah. And so, what was your last conversation with him like? How long did you talk?
The conversation that lasted quite a while was the one where he called, reaching out to actually congratulate us for going to Kasipul, congratulating us for going to Magarini, congratulating us, for whatever it is that we're doing. He was quite pleased that the whole ODM brigade had gone to Kasipul. The ODM leadership had gone to Magarini, and I was just briefing him on the plans and everything. The conversation that I had with him, just let him know that I'm traveling, was a very short conversation. It was more like, Bab, I'm just letting you know that I'm going to be out of the country, but I'm available on phone if there's anything. I had a conversation with the High Commission of India, that when I come back, getting my visa sorted, but like I said, in fact, my passport had already been sent to the Indian High Commission in Mombasa. We had to recall it because I was not able to go to Mombasa, so my passport was sent here so that I can go back to South Africa.
Okay.
But it's things happen.
Yeah,
things happen.
And there have been concerns about the hospital that Baba went to, and you say he told you that we need to build another one, a similar one in Mombasa.
Actually, what he did tell me was that for some reason he seemed to have felt that it was good, in his own words. That these doctors that I'd like you to have a word with them to see if we can be able to practice something similar in Mombasa. And I told him, Baba, by all means, I mean, these are people you've referred, why wouldn't I want to? And I'm going to meet them. I'm actually, my office has been in touch with them, and I think they should be coming the week after next to Kenya.
Okay. And lastly, on that part, what do you remember the most about Baba? And I know everybody had something to say about him. What was this thing that was very outstanding from him as a person?
Very, very solid advice. Maybe he trusted me. I'm sure he saw something, but first time I wanted to become a member of parliament, he put his foot down and he said, this is the person that needs to be able to be in parliament. Second time I became a member of parliament, I ended up becoming the chair of the Public Investments Committee.
A very powerful committee.
He put his foot down as well, and he said, this is the person who can actually be able to get the job done. I would very, 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 very frequently sit down with him, get advice from him. One thing I can confirm, not once did he ever try and convince me or try and tell me, change a narrative or don't call so and so. Some of his very close friends appeared before me And the old man was like, you know what, just get your job done.
Yeah, I remember during the COVID millionaires
Yes.
and everything.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He never once called me and told me why are you calling my friends or anything like that. And if there's something that he had issues to differ with, we would sit down. We'd sit down and be able to talk about it. And by the way, the conversation about how the airport should actually that the fact that you need a partner to be able to develop the airport was a
deal.
Yeah, well, you might want to call it the Adani deal, but whatever deal it is, the fact still remains we need to build an airport. We cannot continuously have the airport run the way it is. Does Kenya have the kind of finances to be able to put a first-class international airport to compete with others? Not necessarily. Are there easier ways to get it done? Yes. In fact, this is a conversation that I had with him during my second term being a member of parliament. So it's not something that he actually just thought of. He actually believed in it. We were discussing about it, the issue of Kenya Airways, why we should have a national carrier, what open skies means for counties like Mombasa and so forth. But he actually believed that we need to do something about the airport.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm saying that is because it's one of the issues when I was just having a discussion with him when I was telling him that today I was going through the accounts of the Kenya Airport Authority and everything. So over lunch he mentioned that. So.
Mm-hmm. All right. And during his funeral service in Bondo last Sunday, there were many speeches that were made from all quarters, everybody heaping praises on him as the enigma of Kenyan politics. Do you think the people who spoke, all of them, were they honest?
Maybe allow me just to I hope they were. That's all I can say. I hope they were.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still trying to think hard. I mean, that those who said other things as well, but at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to deny the history that the man has been able to write in this country. So what other people said, I think what's most important is what he said and what he did and what he wrote for himself.
All right. Okay. So we now want to get into the politics of it, the crux of the matter now. Baba is gone. There's that vacuum that was filled a bit quite fast. And of course, which way now for ODM? And for our listeners and our viewers, I can see some of them are joining here on TikTok. Kuna mtu anasema uongee Kiswahili please. They think you are okay, you can do both, but they want the authenticity. Hii ni shamba tunaongea lugha yote. Tunaongea Kiswahili
haina shida.
Yes. So unataka, kuna mtu amesema kama uko Nairobi na unatafuta kazi my governor, kuna mtu anajiita Sue hapa. People are joining on TikTok, and please continue joining. We're live on TikTok at Hot 96 FM Kenya. You can send your questions and comments to our WhatsApp line, which is 0700 969696 0700 969696. Governor ako hapa, atakuwa anajibu hayo maswali. Alafu tutakuwa kwa YouTube pia live pale at Hot 96 FM KE and X at Hot_96 FM Kenya, and we're going to sample out some of these questions and comments before the end of the show. Maybe before we get into the details of this whole politics, I know Baba was an ardent supporter of Arsenal FC.
Yes.
And Arsenal has been winning in honor of Baba.
Yes.
And I know you also a supporter of Arsenal.
Yes,
how are you feeling today? Just a few minutes ago, mlishinda tena.
Feeling excited, feeling good. I mean, being an Arsenal fan, you need to have a lot of faith. We have faith that we're going to win this.
And a lot of hope.
Hope is one thing. We've always had hope. I think the thing that you need to have the most is faith. We have faith that we're going to win this season. Arsenali hoye.
Okay.
Something like that.
Manchester United iko pale. Team kubwa, team Manchester United. Sasa tuko namba nini hapo, tumekuja top 4. So I want us to listen to the last words of Baba Raila Amolo Odinga. I covered him. I'm actually one of the few people who covered him live his last at assignment at Agile Hotel. I think 22nd of September.
That's before he traveled.
Yes, just before. And this is what he had to say as his last instruction. I don't know. I think his instructions will be like the Bible. They will have so many interpretation, or Quran or something. I don't know. Let's listen to it.
Look at what we have signed, and we must remain as ODM. And we've signed and agreed that we'll work together up to 2027. We have not passed any resolutions as a party to say how we are going to go into the elections of 2027. So wherever you are, don't commit the party to some things which have not been discussed. Let those things be discussed first. We are ODM. Who's told you that ODM will not have a candidate in 2027? Who has told you? So first, think as ODM. We have a clear plan that we have negotiated and we've agreed on, and let us continue to implement that plan. Other decisions.
All right. In slang, in social media terms, Baba was saying, "Ulisikia wapi?"
Ulisikia wapi? It's true.
Yes,
it's true. First of all, wacha nikuelezee. Sijui niongee Kiswahili ama niongee Kiingereza.
Piga Kiswahili.
Wakati historia ya Broadbase ilipoingia, tulikana mzee sana. Kwanza alizunguka Kenya peke yake. Hakuzunguka na viongozi wengine. Aliingia kwa gari, kama ni kwa chopa, kama ni kwa ndege, akaenda. Najua katika sehemu alokwenda nyingine ilikuwa ni Kwale, alienda baadhi ya county nyingine, alifanya ile tunasema random picking ya counties kadhaa kuweza kuwaelezea ya kwa tunaingia katika Broadbase, munaonaje, tuweke mkataba, tusiweke mkataba. Na kisha tukakaa katika Central Committee. We stayed actually till quite late at night that day, and we had a full house. Every one of us was there. Na mzee akawa anatuelezea exactly where the country has come from. We're at a very, very difficult point in this country. At a time when, it was not an easy thing to see the army on the streets. But we saw the army on the streets. Parliament even approved for the army to go to the streets. And then we asked ourselves, if the party wanted to go katika ile angle tunasema ya kwa populism, I'd not be here doing this show today. Ningelikuwa siko hapa. Inchi tungechoma. So what was next? How do we salvage the country? How do we move till 2027? The agreement is exactly that. It is up to 2027.
correct.
There is a 10-point agenda. During that 10-point agenda, ni mambo ambayo kwamba tulikuwa tunakubaliana. And kama nilivyosema, and I'm sticking to my words, by 2027, two things are going to happen. We're either going to be government, or we're going to be part of government. And because you see, you have three options. The third one actually is not a feasible option for ODM.
To be in the opposition.
To be in the opposition. There's no political party that actually is there for purposes of being in the opposition. Because if that is the case, then why do you even struggle to get votes? Si afadhali tukae tuseme tuko na chama, pigeni kura, sisi kila siku tukue number 2, number 3, baadhi ya sehemu nyingine tuwe, but that's not what our intent is. Our intent is to have the reason you have a political party. You sell your ideologies, unauza sera zako, baada ya kuuza sera zako unaambia wa Kenya, kisha sasa pahali vile ilivyo, and the way Kenya is right now, a possibility of having a government that is going to be run solo, a single state, as a majority, is not going to be easy. I don't see it happening.
Okay.
And it's happened before, by the way. We've had coalitions. We've had pre-election coalitions, and you've had post-election coalitions. And all we're saying is, we're not going to be in the opposition. Opposition wachie ingine sasa bwana.
Okay. Sasa Governor. So kuna interpretations ilikuja about that statement of Baba, the last instruction. And we want to listen to some of the things that you also said, what your chairperson said, Gladys Wanga, and what your SG said. We want to start with you.
Okay.
Yes. This is what you said in Bondo.
Umetufunza ya kuwa kuna njia nyingi ya kuwa kanga. Umetufunza ya kuwa kuna njia nyingi ya kuwa kanga. Tunasema hivi, mwaka 2027 hatukai katika upinzani. Mwaka 2027 we will not be in the opposition. Mambo mawili yatafanyika. Agosti tunapiga kura. September we are either in government or we are government.
Governor, kuna kitu ulisema after hapo, and sijui nani alikufunza. We want to Cynthia chatumalizie tu hapo mwisho, pale mwisho hapo.
Joey!
Lazima uelewe mila. Mfuata mila si mtumwa.
Acha tusikize chairperson wako alisema.
Do you know the meaning though? Unajua maana yake. Unajua watu
utatueleza.
Wanasikia tu joy, lakini watu wanaelewa maana yake.
Utatueleza.
Maliza kisha baadaye ndawaambia maana yake.
Sasa tusikize basi. Gladys Wanga.
We said always that this our father, when he says left, we go left. When he says right, we go right. When he says fire, we fire. The last instruction he left us with, and with a very clear mind. And I remember him speaking at the burial of the late Dr. Phoebe Asio, and he said he made a clear decision. We said always.
Sorry, technical hitch kidogo, but can we still complete it? Okay.
That this our father, when he says left, we go left. When he says right, we go right. When he says fire, we fire. The last instruction he left us with, and with a very clear mind. And I remember him speaking at the burial of the late Dr. Phoebe Asio, and he said he made a clear decision to work with you for the stability and unity of the nation inside the broad-based government. That is the last standing instruction that Baba gave us. And as a people and as a party, that is where we will stand.
Gladys Wanga, chairperson ODM. Let's listen to the mouthpiece of the party, SG Edwin Sifuna.
Baba aliongea kwa kinywa chake mwenyewe, na waomba viongozi msiingize maneno kwa mdomo ya mtu ambaye amelala. Alisema yeye mwenyewe, akasema kama chama lazima tujiandae kwa ajili ya uchaguzi wa mwaka 2027 na wale ambao wanaeneza Nairobi. Baba aliongea kwa kinywa chake mwenyewe, na waomba viongozi msiingize maneno kwa mdomo ya mtu ambaye amelala. Alisema yeye mwenyewe, akasema kama chama lazima tujiandae kwa ajili ya uchaguzi wa mwaka 2027 na wale ambao wanaeneza mambo mengine hapa. Baba alisema, who has told you? Who has told you? Who has told you? Kwa hivyo sisi tutafuata the last standing instruction ya Baba ambaye alitoa chini ya siku 23 ambazo zimepita kabla afariki. Kwa hayo mengi.
Okay, Deputy Party Leader.
Actually, what Baba said, and you can play it again. He said that don't commit ODM until we've discussed. And then he used the word who said. that ODM, who told you? Nani alikuambia, ulisikia wapi ya kwa ODM hatutokuwa na candidate? Lakini pia hakusema ya kuwa tusiazungumze, alisema ya kuwa usizungumze jambo, tukaeni chini tuongee, na ndivyo tutakavyofanya sasa.
So governor,
two things
Baba
are going to happen.
Broad-based, until
no. He was very clear that we have to stick and honor our word until 2027. We're not going to be populist. Kuwa populist, that is due to fike time hivi tuanze kusema ya kuwa tunataka kura za nini, tuanze kutoka katikati ya njia, watu mambo yao hayajafanyiwa, miradi hayajamalizika, inchi yaanze fujo kabla wakati. That is not the direction that he was very clear. We have a broad-based arrangement, an MOU that was signed at KICC in broad daylight. Everyone was there. I was there. Chances are you guys were there. Chances are extremely high ya kwa watu wote ambao kwamba wenye kutuangalia sasa hivi katika mitandao na wenye kutusikia were there. It was nothing that we hid. In fact, what we were simply saying is that we now need to be able to find out ilifikia wapi. Where is it reached? We chose a team on our part. They chose a team on their part. And I'm hoping that in tomorrow's agenda, the current acting deputy leader ataweza kuiweka wazi ya kuwa this 10-point agenda is tumefikia wapi. Agenda ya pili, let's not lose focus. Let's not lose focus. We have by-elections that are coming up. It is not an issue of winning. It is an issue of winning with huge numbers. We have ODM at 20 that we as leaders have agreed will continue. And in this time round, we're not saying ODM at 20 alone. ODM at 20, Raila at 80. In honor of our former party leader. But then, as it stands right now, the words that Raila said is, don't commit the party. Yes, don't commit the party before you have discussed it. Please play it again.
We'll do it again.
Yeah.
But again, before we play it back, the SG of the party, Edwin Sifuna, I feel like he's saying that we need to review this thing again because the terms have changed. The person who signed it is not.
First of all, no, the person who signed it actually, if you look at the document, there were more. But I'll tell you one thing. As a party, I strongly believe that we will all speak with one voice. Expect this. This is science. It's nature. What happens when you start throwing multiple of balls? Balls will start pinging all over the place. They'll start without necessarily having a certain direction. And eventually what's going to happen when the kinetic energy starts going down, the balls will start moving slowly, and they'll all be able to follow a direction equally. Open the tap or the shower in your shower, water will be splashing all over. But what's going to happen? Eventually, it's all going to go to the drain. Now, what I'm basically trying to say is that we've just been hit with something. And courtesy of the media as well, you've been, the media has been quite loud. I saw a headline today, ODM's, what did it say? Something like ODM's Ford Kenya moment. They were really looking forward. Why are people looking forward for us to be divided?
But it is divided.
Ulisikia wapi tutagawanyika?
No, saying that he will never support this broad-based government. And
but he said, by the way, he said it even when Baba was alive. I'm going to give him his
what do you think of him?
As an individual.
No, as an SG.
He's an excellent good friend of mine. I don't have enemies with anyone, but at the end of the day, when for any political party to be able to succeed, people need to sit down. If there's one thing that we were taught by Baba, when Baba was talking to us about whether to go on broad-based or not, I'm telling you, this is a man who traversed the country, akakaa na delegates alone. In fact, I think the only person who went with him was Morris Ogeta.
Ogeta, the bodyguard.
Yes. Because he came to the coastal region. Ideally, wherever he went, he would go with me. But this time round, he said, no, I want to hear from people raw. And then he sat down with us as Central Committee. I mean, if it was about dictatorship, we would not have sat till 2 in the morning. We had a meal at 2 in the morning. And after Mzee said whatever it is that he said, I don't know whether it is going to be by but he was convincing enough for all of us to agree as to why we needed to. All of us. There was not even one dissenting voice. So why can't we go with the same spirit? We'll sit down, we'll go through the 10-point agenda. Where did they reach? Have words been honored? Have they not been honored? If it is about 2027, we'll sit down and ask ourselves, well, where do we best stand a chance? I don't know. The only time that ODM actually had, when the last elections, when the party was opening for nominations, I think there were Hassan Ali Joe paid for nominations to become presidential flag bearer for ODM. Baba paid presidential flag bearer. I don't know who else did, but I know that at that time is when then everyone else stepped aside for Baba. So the party is open. I mean, if someone says that, you know what, I want to be presidential flag bearer for ODM, atajitokeza, tumwangalie, tupime, tuangalie, what are our chances, surely? Yeah. What are our true chances? Should we say that, you know what, let's talk to someone, tuangalie, tutafanya vipi, huyu apate hii, sisi tuangalie kama tutakuwa wapi, as long as we are in government, we are part of government.
Okay.
Ama sisi ndo tukue pale juu, ama mwingine akuja tujoin, aseme ya kwa mimi, sasa mimi nataka kuingia chama, tumpatie hiyo nini. It's still too early to discuss these things.
Umetaja kitu hapo ukipita. You've mentioned it in passing.
I have a feeling.
Juu kidogo, are you saying that if the President William Ruto now says, I'm joining ODM, mtampatia ticket?
It's not for an individual to make a decision. Whatever the case, it is not for an individual to make a decision. Even Baba, when he was alive, he was not an automatic flag bearer. There are people I just mentioned. Hassan Ali Joe is one of them. Wakati mzee anachukua tiketi yake, karatasi zake za kuvaa as the ODM candidate, call it whatever it is, but it was a lesson we were being taught.
Okay.
That no one stands, in democracy, every voice counts. Iwe ni kipindi, iwe ni vipindire, iwe ni nini, whatever it is, but it was a lesson that we were all taught.
Okay.
And a lesson well learned.
Okay.
So, akija mtu, ukija, I don't know, To, maybe you want us to discuss with you, tukupatie tikiti ya mahali fulani. Tutakupima, tukuangalie kama unaeza, uko sawa, nini, yeah.
Kabisa.
And you never know. Hata simini iko pia.
Yeah. Okay. So nataka your deputy party leader, your colleague in that position, Simbarati, alisema saizi William Ruto president akiingia kwa chama, mnampea ticket direct. And I want us to listen to him. Ndio msiseme nimemwekea maneno kwa mdomo yake. Kuna vitu ambaye alisema during the Mashujaa Day celebration, a day after Baba was laid to rest.
I'm told that he said that yesterday as well.
He also reiterated it again. But we want to listen to the first time he spoke about it. Let's just play it.
That yesterday the president said he's going to make sure ODM remains to be the party. I want to urge him out of the meeting of yesterday and today. Mheshimiwa William Samoei Ruto, wewe ulikuwa, you were a member of ODM. How I wish when you're going to sit down that you come back to your former party, ODM. If you came back to ODM, definitely we'll have you as our flag bearer. If you came back to ODM, we will fulfill the promise Baba had a vision for. That yesterday the president said is going to make sure ODM remains to be the party.
All right, that is your deputy, your colleague, deputy party leader, Simba.
Well, I think the words that he used is how I wish.
How I wish.
How I wish. How, not how we wish, how I wish. But I'll tell you what. This is,
wakili pia, ni kama.
No, nimesikia tu vile alivyoongea. He said how I wish. Which is, you know, this is a party that everyone can be able to give their views, surely. Kila moja atoe maoni yake. But at the end of the day, decisions are made. You know, our party, you know, even when we hold a meeting, like tomorrow we're having a central committee meeting. It's all over the papers. It's all everywhere. Chama ODM itakaa chini, and you will see how many, you know, I've never seen more cameras than when I finish a central committee meeting. There are usually so many cameras. I feel like macho yangu itaonekana ni makengeza, look cockeyed, because kuna kamera kuanzia huku paka huku. It means that it is a party that the people have an interest in. We're a party of the masses. We're a party that believes in openness. I mean, this is a conversation that one of the founding leaders of ODM, there's no doubt about it, is William Samoei Ruto. You're not going to deny it.
So, should he come, would you be part of those people who say, wacha tumpe ticket?
If William Samoei Ruto was today come into ODM, I mean, it would be an option for us to be able to sit down and discuss.
Would you support that option?
It is a discussion that we would have. Is he interested? Did he tell you? I don't know. He's not told me. All I know is that he indicated equally that, and I think also, you know, first of all, you need to ask yourself, what does ODM stand for?
Before we ask that, do you support your deputy party leader? That if he were to come, he would get an automatic ticket, like a direct ticket.
He used the words I. He never used. And I'm of that belief that some of these discussions are better to pige msasa, tuangalie. Probably To will come and, you know, tutasema kwa ujamaa anaweza kufaa zaidi. Ulisikia api, pengine I want to buy. You know, you never know.
Okay, sorry, Governor.
But I'll tell you one thing though. Whatever is going to happen, we're not going to be in the opposition.
By all means.
I refuse to be in the opposition forever. I want to do this in honor of Baba.
Okay. And you mentioned about the meeting tomorrow. Is it tomorrow?
Yes, it is.
What are the details of that meeting? What is it about?
The constitution of our party is that Central Committee inaitwa na party leader peke yake. And the party leader the acting party leader that we've been able to choose is Dr. Oburu Odinga. He's called for the meeting. Usually agendas are set by the party leader. And I said I hope and I pray that one of the agendas, I'm looking forward for 4 agendas tomorrow. The first agenda is we need to be kind enough to say it as it is. To say it as it is. Had this not been a state funeral, I do not know how we would have started. So we need to give thanks to where thanks belong. I'm really thinking hard. You know, despite the military presence and everything else, people broke the airport. People went all the way to the plane. Now, I was with Mama Ida, and she was watching when Mze's body was in Kisumu, and she asked me, "How would we have handled it if the government had not provided support. I told her, Mama, if we were to take all the ODM governors, na tuchukue kanjo, you know, mini chukue inspectorate, nani achukue inspectorate, and then now there are those ones who would have, you know, been friendly, watupatie makanjo wao. Pia tungeshindwa.
Control.
It would, how? Please explain to me how we would have controlled. And now imagine a situation where, and then you know we live in an advent of social media. Previous big names, when they passed away, the element of social media was not necessarily there. You want to know the level of who Raila was. You know, when we started this show, you played the song by Belafonte. It ended up being one of the most streamed and downloaded songs in the country. Kenyans are so active on social media, whatever we do here has a traction effect in the rest of the world. So actually people in other parts of the world started getting this, you know, what's this song? Who is this person? What is it all about? You know, you're seeing right now, I don't know whether they call themselves content creators or who it is, but from the whole world ended up talking about this song, ended up talking about Raila Amolo Odinga. This particular flight, which changed name once it got into Kenyan airspace to RAO 001, but the flight was the most followed flight worldwide. The most tracked. You know, Kenyans are tech savvy. Watu walijua kwa ukiingia kwa site hii utaweza kuipata hii flight. It was the most tracked flight. Please explain to me, so one of the agendas I'm hoping for tomorrow is, you know what, give thanks where thanks are due. Asante serikali, asante William Samoei Ruto, kwa sababu kama haikufanywa as a state burial, tungeweza vipi? How would we have handled it? 2, we have by-elections coming up. All these other shenanigans and sideshows need to be put aside. We have by-elections coming up at the end of November. We don't want to just win. We need to win with numbers. I will not allow one of those funny parties to win Magarini. I will not be sleeping well. Not for anything else. Because I feel that I would have truly let down the beliefs of Baba. You know, Mzee is the kind who believed that we need to have a party in Kenya that is going to have such strength and such roots embedded so deep, something like the ANC.
South Africa.
It's a party, the Democratic Party, the Republican Party.
Okay.
Whoever comes in, whoever goes. So first of all, we have by-elections. 2, we need to start asking ourselves, when are those specialists that we had put into place to talk to the specialists on the other side, on the 10-point agenda, when are they reporting back to us? You know, that's the 3rd issue. And the 4th issue is, we congratulate our acting party leader, because he was actually proposed and seconded by the National Executive. The National Executive is an extension of the Central Committee. So it's kind of like it's got more numbers, because every Central Committee member is there. I proposed him. I'm the one who proposed it. First of all, it just became as an AOB, because we had a meeting, we had to discuss, but power abhors vacuum. You can never, if we did not do what needs to be done, then every single person would have started
and declared themselves.
And yeah.
But tell us about that meeting, because I know there was a National Security Council meeting. I don't know if that was part of the discussion to...
No, we're not part and parcel. The National Security council is a constitutional sijafika huko bado.
So amkupewa instructions.
Pengine nikiwa flag bearer mutanieka.
Party leader pale.
No. What? No, surely no, not at all. This meeting was actually kuweza kubrief. You know, ODM is a party that has structures that goes all the way to the polling stations. So kwanza kuna central committee, kisha kuna national executive, kisha kuna delegates ambao kwamba watakutana as delegates conference, which we are hoping to do sometime next year. Tukimaliza the delegates conference, sasa huko chini kuna watu paka kwa mashinani polling stations. So the thing that we did is we had to call the nearest possible. Calling a delegates conference ni kujaza Kasarani ama kujaza Uhuru Park, you know, and to tell people on the plans of Baba's funeral. So we had to get the small team, which is and then when that happened, I proposed it as an AOB that, look, good people, we can't have a party that is not going to be led. And I'm the one who proposed. And the person who seconded it was Simbarati. And I strongly feel that Dr. Oburu, because right now, if anything else, we need that level of maturity to kutuweka mosmos. You know, and that's the only reason.
That was the reason why you saw that he was.
I proposed Dr. Oburu for that reason, because he's mature enough. He's someone who was the closest confidant of Baba, and at a time of mourning, at a time when everyone started making comments left, right, and center. And by the way, there was not even one person who voiced their concern otherwise.
Okay.
Wote waliokuwa pale, and we had a quorum.
Okay. So, Governor, kuna watu wanasema, of course, Oburu has his record. He's been MP for Bondo for 19 years, from 1994 to 2013. He's been a member of parliament, a nominated MP. He's been a member of parliament for Yala, and now senator. Over 30 years being in this thing. But some people have questioned the choice and saying that, okay, is this a family affair? Number one. Number two, the age factor.
No, actually, for the fact that, I'm repeating this again, the party was at a very, very volatile situation. We've just lost our party leader. You know, look at all of us who are the deputy party leaders right now. If one of us, we're young enough, we've been vocal at a time like this when the party needed some level of calmness and direction. Do you say, I would have been greedy enough and said that, you know what, I want to be. Simba would have been greedy and said he wants to be. Or Sotsi would have said, no, let it be me. Gladys would have said, you know what, no, wache mimi. But Sote, we all agreed that, listen, good people, this party right now, we need to have a bit of calmness. So that as we discuss, as we talk, as we chart our way forward, we have a person who can be able to give us that dosages of wisdom. We're not talking about anything else except that power abhors vacuum. When you have a situation in politics, in political party leadership, where hakuna yule ambaye kwamba anafaa kuwaongoza, kila kichwa kitainuka. Na wakati kila kichwa kinainuka, sahi ile maneno ambayo kwamba ingekuwa imeongelewa hapa sahi, tuko na party chairs 47. This is a party ambayo iko na watu all the way mpaka grassroots level, mpaka polling station. Tuko na watu ambao tumewachagua katika polling stations, walipiga kura na wakaa polling station members. Ikafika mpaka sasa ile ya county level, watu 20. From there sasa wanafika kwa delegates, kisha kuna national executive, tuko na wabunge, tuko na magavana, tuko na maseneta. You can imagine how many heads each and every one aseme ya kwa ni mimi.
Okay, tunaelewa.
Watu waende mosmos. take a chill pill. We're having our first central committee tomorrow. The agendas that I feel are most important is that we have by-elections that we need to be able to win. We have the ODM at 20 and the Baba at 80 that we need to be able to get done, because it was his wish that it should actually be done. And Mombasa was honored. We were actually blessed
to be the host. Is it actually happening? Is it still?
Oh, yes, it is.
When? The
It's,
dates are still the same?
we are going to be discussing whether the dates are going to be the same. However, the chances are the dates will still be the same.
It was November 12th to 16th.
Yes, but please do bear in mind that we have by-elections.
Yeah.
And,
November 27th.
Exactly. So there's a possibility. What if we finish the by-elections and then we get this done?
Okay.
There's a big possibility.
Okay. Sorry, have I cut you short?
No.
Okay, sir. So for Oburu, for how long will he continue acting?
Well, the National Executive has already put him, confirmed him. The Central Committee has already
not acting
confirmed
anymore.
him. No. You actually, the positions, the way ODM works, is the National Governing Council that actually now confirms you.
So tomorrow is the day.
In fact, kila moja tumepitishwa na National Executive na Central Committee. Then from there, then the next National Governing Council that is going to be there, probably something is going to come up, equations will be able to change, and we will be able to figure out from there. But the whole idea of why we need an acting is because even to call for the Central Committee, you need the party leader. You need the party leader.
Yeah. So for how long will he be in that position?
These are discussions that we will have internally as a party.
Do you think he'll go until 2027?
We'll discuss these positions as a party. I mean, if he leads us well enough, why not?
Okay.
If he leads us well enough, why not?
Okay. So, what will ODM, if tentatively William Ruto was to join ODM and say get the ticket democratically, as you say, what position will ODM still be asking for? Will you be asking for number 2, or will you still be okay with President William Ruto being your candidate?
I asked you, the first question you need to ask yourself is, what does ODM stand for?
I think democracy.
No. We're a social democracy. The difference between our party and many other parties, we're a people-first centered party. So whoever we talk to, everything has to be rounded down to people first. You know, many people ask, in Baba's manifesto, we had things like Baba Care, which is basically talking about universal health. A cousin of Shah. In Baba's manifesto, he was talking about providing assistance to not just the elderly, but talking about single mothers and everything else. So what ODM is nothing else except we're a social democracy. So we have certain values, and again, ODM is the probably, I don't know if of any other political party in this country, but ODM is the only party that believes in the full implementation of the constitution in matters of devolution.
All right. Fair enough,
So atakayekuja tukubaliane hapa, tutafanya hivi lakini mwishowe chama yetu inaamini hivi na hivi.
Okay. Maswali yanakuja mengi sana hapa TikTok, YouTube, X na hata WhatsApp. Kuna swali ambalo limeulizwa hapa kwako direct kutoka kwa jamaa anajiita Jaremba. Uliza governor about the rumors za kutoa Sifuna kwa party.
I'm glad amesema hivyo ni rumor. And by the way, these rumors were there even before Baba died.
So mtamtoa ama mtoi?
No, I'm naregelea tena. You said it yourself, the rumors. Please tell me, when was tangu mzee fariki, there's only one National Executive Committee meeting that we have held. The country is in mourning tayari, watu wanafikiria. Now imagine if we didn't have a party leader. Watu wangelikuwa wametoana mapanga kweli kweli.
Kwa hivyo Sifuna is there to stay. For how long?
If he wants to stay, why not? If I want to stay, why not? Si tuendelee. Why is every single person talking about division? Can we talk about unity?
But
why can't you tell me the party is there to be united? Why are you telling me the party is there to be divided?
No, you know, one of the members who sits in that committee,
who?
Wanaongea lugha tofauti.
Who?
Sifuna. SG anasema kwanza haungi mkono.
By the way, let me get something very, very clear. Having different discerning voices is something else. But when it comes to the party, when the party now makes the decision that this is the direction that we need to take, it is collective. Okay. I'm glad that whenever people talk, they say tumesikia rumors. It is exactly that, because people have not sat down. Hakuna mtu amekaa chini bwana. Watu kama ni watu kukaa chini na tuweze kukubaliana. This is the direction. Majority will have their way.
Okay. And you mentioned about Oburu being the person who will come with wisdom. Mtu ambaye atakuja kupunguza pressure.
Sio kwa atakuja, ashakuja.
Ashakuja.
Yeah.
Unahisi vipi kuhusu Edwin Sifuna, kina Babu Wino, hiyo team ya vijana machachari wa chama cha ODM ambao wamejitokeza kupinga msimamo huu wa chama wa kuingia ndani ya muungano na serikali? What do you think of them?
First of all, broad-based haikusainiwa jana na juzi. It was signed in the presence of Baba. Baba has made it very, very clear. We're supporting this until 2027. He used those words. You know, sasa unajua ukianza kuniambia ya kwa tunaanza kumsaliti mzee na hata mchanga haujachukua maiti kisawasawa, I think that will be wrong. Because in his own words, maneno yake mwenyewe, no. Asijawahi kusema kwa vijana wamemsaliti. So let us be very, very clear.
Yeah. Nasema hawa ambao wanapinga.
Me as an individual,
yes.
Me as Abdul Swamad Sharif Nasser,
yes.
I am a firm believer in a strong party.
Yeah.
I will never go anywhere na kuanza kukastigate na kusema kwa huyu amesema, huyu amesema. In fact, I think in my time, there's only one time that I talked against a leader when it came to matters of politics, because he gave an ultimatum to Baba. And he said that tunaambia Baba kama ikifika time hii kama hatoki itabidi tutoke chama. Nikaambia hata usingoje, because Baba is not a person to be given ultimatums. Toka sahi. But even then others told me, you should have just called the guy and calmed him down and everything else. And at a time like this, how many days? Unajua kuna wale wenye kusema kwa kukaa katika msiba ni siku 40. Kuna wale wenye kusema kukaa katika msiba ni siku 4. Kuna wale wenye kusema kukaa katika msiba ikiwa mama akona mimba ni paka azae, ama unakaa eda ile miezi kadhaa baada mtu kufariki. Hata msiba haujamalizika uzuri tayari mnaanza kutuambia ya kwa someone told me to read a book. I'm sure ananisikiza sasa hivi. You need to read a book called The Night of the Long Knives. When you don't have proper leadership in place after a leader has gone, and you don't install a leader quickly, swiftly, someone who is going to be respected by all, if you don't get it done, that is the end of that political party.
Okay.
Allow this party without necessarily saying ya kwa huyu amesema hivi, huyu amesema hivi. Are we going to be having dissenting views? We definitely will. We had dissenting views even during the time. I want to give you an example. Baba has been very, very clear. Hasn't Baba been the one saying that there should be no CDF? Hasn't Baba been saying that pesa zote za barabara ziende kwa counties instead of going to the others? Didn't MPs have dissenting views? Didn't senators have dissenting views? Did governors at times agree and sometimes disagree on some other matters? But did we at any given time come out and say that, you know what, because we have dissenting views, we're divided?
Kwa hivyo unawashauri vipi kama ungepatana saa hizi, kwa sababu unajua
sio kama tutapatana saa hii ni saa 2 na dakika 8 na dakika 3 ama dakika 8, yangu inasema dakika 8, yako inasema dakika 8. Kama ni saa 2 na dakika 8, baada ya masaa 15 tutakuwa tunakaa chini. 15 hours from now
mtakuwa na maoni,
tutakuwa na mazungumzo. I'm assuming ya kwa mkutano wetu hautomaliza zaidi ya masaa 2, kwa sababu hatuna vitu vya vita, tunazungumza mambo ya chama kuweza kuendelea. Kwa hivyo kesho ikifika habari ya saa 7 utakuwa unaotuona sote tunashikana mkono na tukitabasamu.
Leo utakuwa pale.
Na hapo sasa mimi
utakuwa pale.
This is the central committee, everyone is going to be there. We have 3 deputy party leaders, we have the chair of the party, we have members who are there. There is no reason why anyone should not be there. The executive director of the party is also going to be there. So hakuna story ya nini.
Okay. Sawa gavana. Kuna kitu ambacho kimefanyika huko Mombasa. Kuna shehena ya madawa ya kulevya imepatikana.
Yes, I saw that in fact I wanted to call. Nilikuwa nataka kupiga
tueleze kama statement sasa, utueleza unajua ni station ya kimataifa. Ueleze, uzungumza na Wakenya.
Nilikuwa nataka sana kupiga, actually niweze kupeana kongole kwa watu wa intelligence na kupeana kongole kwa watu wa DCI. I mean, this is unprecedented. Ile kitu ambacho kwamba naweza kukuambia ni kwa mtazamo wangu watu walikuwa wanajaribu, kwa sababu ile madawa yale sio madawa ambao kwamba tatizo la Kenya zaidi ni heroin, na tatizo la Kenya zaidi ni mambo mengine kama heroin is one of the hard drugs, lakini hii dawa hizi, this is most likely a transshipment. Walikuwa wanajaribu kuifanya Kenya iwe ni a transshipment hub. Na I'm glad they did what needs to be done. I'm extremely glad.
They're asking whose drugs were they?
It's important. I mean, every single person should be able to get an answer on that.
Do you have an idea of who's it?
I wish I knew. Why would you ask me if I have an idea? Natajuaje mimi madawa kule
madawa? Ilikuwa kaunti yako kule. High seas.
Hey my friend, acha nikwambie sasa mimi. It's like asking me, tumeona kasupu fulani kamepita pale, ni demu nani? How am I meant to know? Lakini anapita Mombasa, surely. Come on. I mean,
so hiyo swali itabaki hivyo tu.
No, I strongly hope that they will be able to, because wao wameshikwa watu. Wewe waulizwe maswali.
The Iranians.
Yes, waulizwe maswali.
Yes. Okay.
And by the way, if these people were in Iran, I can assure you, jamaa angelikuwa amenyongwa tu. So unajua kule kesi inamaliza siku 4. 4 days umeshikwa, hakuna story nyingi. Hapa kwetu, you know. And by the way, hii shida yote is because we have a very, very vibrant constitution. And we have one of the best constitutions in the world. Shida ile mbako tuko nao ni kwa we have those who respect it and then we have those who actually abuse it. Sasa hapa hii mambo ya kusema kwa sijui tutaenda mahakama, tutaenda wapi, kama umeshikwa. You were caught live with yale madawa ya kulevya. You either tell us who it is, ama you go to the news.
Yeah. All right. So, Governor,
and I say this unapologetically because drugs kill. You know, these are things that actually kill. Our young people are actually dying.
Okay. And I think Mombasa imekuwa na hiyo challenge sana kwa muda.
Statistics zile ambazo kwamba ziko na kada, statistics zile ambazo kwamba ziko kwetu, you'll be surprised. the bigger problem is not even hard drugs. And these are, mina kuambia, these are based on statistics. Nikiongea mambo yao unajua watu wananiambia ya kwa napinga region, but ukweli wa maneno ni kwa ile shida ambayo kwamba zaidi tuko nao ni mogoka.
Kuna swali hapa imeulizwa TikTok na jamaa anaitwa Yasir. Mheshimiwa, do you think Kenya inafaa kunyonga hao watu wanaleta madawa za kulevya?
Yes.
Wanyonge?
Yes. I think if we were to have a death penalty on people who are killing people, then by all means. And I'm not even yani hata siombe msamaha kwa sababu wewe, do you know what drugs do to you? Let me just explain. Wacha niwaambie sasa, mtu ukisikia kwa mtu anatumia madawa ya kulevya na kwa nini watu waweze kusaidiwa, wale ambao kwamba wenye kutumia madawa ya kulevya. Ukitumia madawa ya kulevya ina affect your neuron system. Sasa ile kitu ambacho kwamba inafanyika ni hii system yako ni kama iko layered na madawa ambayo kwamba ni makemikali. Once that happens, you start becoming slowly and gradually you become an addict. And some drugs you become an addict extremely quick. Being an addict is making someone a slave. Kwa sababu yule mtu anafanya kile chochote kinachohitajika ili aweze kupata yale madawa ya kulevya. In the process of that, mwenye kutumia madawa ya kulevya kama ni mtoto wa kike ataweza kuuza, kama ni dhahabu aweze kuuza nguo za nyumbani, aweze kuuza nini, mwishowe atajiuza mwili wake. In the process of doing that, what happens next? Unapata sasa paka maradhi yanazidi kutambaa na kutembea kila pahali. Yule ambaye kwamba ni kijana wa kiume, imagine kila siku ikiwa atahitaji kama ni 500 ni 1000, ile pesa ingelikuwa inatumika kwa njia nyingine ile ambayo kwamba inayofaa. Familia ngapi zimeweza kunini? The process, ile process yenyewe, you make someone your life long client, ya kwa kila siku asubuhi akiamka yeye anatafuta njia yoyote kupata chapaa ili aweze kukupa wewe, ili na kila akikupa yeye ile pesa anazidi kuharibu yeye na anaharibu na familia yake nzima
na jamii pia.
This is not a joke.
Correct. Okay, lastly Governor, kuna mpango wa waste management.
Yes.
Waste management huko imechelewa, tumesikia ulikuwa umepanga kidogo hivi. Sijui imefikia wapi au mradi kwa
we have signed these are actually 3 contracts. Contract ya kwanza near hazardous waste. We all know what happened in Lebanon at one time. Kulikuwa kuna containers ambazo kwamba zilikuwa zimekaa ziko na hazardous waste, and then because they were not disposed at the right time, the whole city went and erupted. It was actually something extremely big. Mombasa, if we're not careful, and by the way, Urowino happened in Mombasa because we do not have a situation to handle hazardous waste. So for this particular one, Mombasa is now going to be in a position to handle hazardous waste. That means kama kuna mtu ameleta container yake, kuna batteries, those batteries are leaking, we need to be able to figure out how we're going to do it. Tuko na pahali ambao kwamba kuna lead, petroleum products, anything else. We, as a port city, the magnitude of Mombasa, the fact that we don't have a hazardous treatment facility is actually, I'm glad. Within the next couple of months, we should now be up and running on that. This is nothing else except itakuwa ni kitu ambacho kwamba kinasaidia watu wa Mombasa, hali yao ya afya. Ya pili ambayo kwamba bado hatujamaliza ni kuhusiana na mambo ya maji taka. Hii tunaita siwa. We have had a problem forever. Investment ambayo kwamba inahitajika kutengeza hii siwa system yetu ni mabilioni. We don't have the money. So someone comes and invest pesa yake, baada ya kuinvest pesa yake sisi tunamlipa taratibu kila tunapotumia. Do you know we have no sewer treatment plant in Mombasa? You'll be surprised. One of the oldest one, which is in Kizingo, which was handling part of the island, died 33 years ago. 33. The other one, which is in Kipevu, which was handling majority of Mombasa West, literally died 13 years ago. Now we're about to finish that particular one with the World Bank. Tunajaribu kuimaliza. Kwa yule ambaye anajua Mombasa, a big majority of majengo, na hii si kitu iliyoanza jana na juzi, majengo area nzima ya Nyali, Chuda, go all those beach hotels, there is no sewer line. So what is happening is kila moja kuna na soak pit and a septic tank. Then the idea was watu wanapatiwa ruhusa lakini watu waweze kunyonya. But the county can only be able to account for 3%. Where does all that waste go?
Becomes a problem.
It goes to the ocean. Kwa wale wenye kuishi Chuda, bahari ya Chuda haikaliki.
Kwa hivyo watu wa Mombasa watarajia hivi karibuni mambo yatakuwa
sawa. No, this is going to take longer. Okay. Hii liquid waste si kitu ambacho kwamba, lakini kila makomba tunajaribu kufanya, tukiweza tukumaliza, tutajenga what is called fecal treatment plant, ambao kutakuwa na magari, kazi yao mtu ikijaa pale tunaitoa tunaenda kuipeleka. Lakini nyingine ni takataka. We cannot have the same problem. Hii takataka kila siku asubuhi ukiamka, hii chupa ya maji, nini, makaratasi, normal solid waste. What we want to do this time round is a program that will really help the young people. Imeanza hii trial period. We want to see how it is going to behave hii period ya 90 days. Vijana tayari tumewachukua, wale ambao kwamba tayari walikuwa wanakusanya taka watapatiwa uniform, inoculation, watalipiwa SHA, then watapatiwa equipment, and then on top of it watapatiwa na ile tuk-tuk iko na carrier. So what happens is wanakuja nyumbani, wanachukua taka mara mbili, wanaambiwa pahali watapeleka. So in that area kutakuwa na ile tunaita transfer station. Watakwenda na tuk-tuk wazipeleke pale. Wakipeleka taka pale, then compactors zitabeba zile ziende kusipeleka Mwakirunge. The program that we have again is mtu atakuja atuletee kama ni tuk-tuk, not kama ni, the contract is that ni tuk-tuk 200 ambazo kwamba ziko na body specially for taka. And then ataleta compactor 11. Atatupatia na equipment zile ambazo kwamba zinafaa ku handle the dump site. And then eventually tuna convert hii takataka yetu ambayo kwamba tunaiona plastic itumike tena, uchafu mwingine uwe ni mbolea, karatasi ifanywe recycling upya, chuma kiweze kufanywa usafi mpya. Gharama ile ambayo kwamba tutakayolipa sisi, the whole program is in billions. We don't have that money. You have to be smart. No, the World Bank ni nyingine ambayo kwamba itakuwa ni part of nini. This is actually was advertised, and it's a private entity. And what is going to happen is they put in their money. We put in zero.
It's a PPP.
It's actually a joint venture, not a PPP. They bring in, now you can imagine, we simply pay them as usage.
Okay.
We don't have the money. Tuwapi pesa yote ya kunini?
Pesa gavana?
Not 17 billion. That's a lot of money. You know, if you want to make changes, kila siku ukiamka asubuhi hii mambo takataka, you cannot expect to do big changes by doing the same things. If you want to make changes, you have to make bold decisions to do those changes.
All right. Lastly, Governor, kwa sababu tunajua asubuhi unamkia mkutano, maneno yako ya mwisho kama Governor wa Mombasa, kidogo tu kwa kifupi, na pia kama Deputy Party Leader tukifunga kipindi.
I asked you kwanza, do you know the meaning of joy?
Joy sasa ndio tunataka utuambie. Nilisikia ni kifaa ni buffalo, ni hiyo buffalo.
Zamani watu walikuwa wakienda kuwinda, akionekana buffalo, wale wenye kuwinda walikuwa wanaita joy, yani tunaenda ni it is time to hunt.
Tumempata nyati.
lakini we fly risk kwa sababu ningeshika vipi mkuki pale kuna marais wa nchi.
Yeah.
Ingelikuwa ni but actually at a burial that is now the Luo culture.
Okay.
And if you want to know who Raila is, sasa Joey inajulikana dunia nzima.
Ende likufunza hii mambo ya Joey.
Yes.
Okay. So basi gavana,
tulikuwa tumeenda kuzika pamoja. Mimi nikana ka jeans changu kule nyuma nikamwacha yeye mzee ameenda huko. I'm sure you've seen him when he went to. Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much, Governor. I think we've learned a lot from Baba, especially you, and of course we've learned a lot from this show as well. And thank you for coming. Nasikia umetoka jioni tu saizi Mombasa ukuje show.
Yes.
Kwa sababu hii ni show kubwa. Na bila shaka tunashukuru. Next
this
time
is Hot 96.
Hot 96. Checkmate on Hot 96.
Kapsa.
Thank you very much for coming. And I hope next time tukikuita utatokea.
Kapsa.
Tuzungumze na wananchi. There are so many comments that we could not take questions.
I'd love if you compile them all so that I can also be able to learn a thing or two from the listeners.
We will. Thank you so much, Governor.